Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of The Blu-ray Hunter. I'm the Blu-ray Hunter, Jonathan Moody, and I've got a fun show for you guys. So this is going to be the new thing every month. I review at least 10 movies. I think I started in August and September, so this is like I think the third month I've been doing this, and I really like it. I'm going to be ranking the movies I watched, and I'll be telling you guys a little bit about them while I do so. To go down my 10 movies, and this is basically my views from the ones I didn't like all the way to the ones I loved, or whatever I loved the most. So here we go. Number one is Gotcha. So Gotcha, which I did a review of. It was a cute movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It's funny because none of these movies I hated. I tried one and I couldn't even watch it, so I guess that would have been one I hated, but I didn't watch it all the way, so I can't review it or I can't put it on the list. But this movie I watched all the way through and I enjoyed. I enjoyed sort of the ending a little bit more than the beginning, or whatever in the middle. I enjoyed like sort of end of the middle up to the end. I thought it got better. A lot of people said it was better when he was in Russia. I think it was better when he was in America. So I liked him better in that and whatnot. I liked kind of the espionage stuff and running from this, everybody. And who do you trust? Can you trust the CIA and what's going on and all this stuff. So it's really good, really fun movie. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch it, please do. Even though it's number 10 and that's the lowest ranked on my movie, that says a lot of what you're about to see next. So get ready. Um, so that's from Kino Lorber. Another movie from Kino Lorber that was my number 9 movie is Moving Violations. I really, really enjoyed this movie as well. I thought it was really funny. I think there was a couple parts where it wasn't as funny as I think they were trying to make it. And I kind of wish it stuck with more like a police academy feel, and it really didn't have that. To me, it felt more like Stripes, and stuff like that. And I didn't like it as much as I thought I was gonna like it, but I didn't like it enough to say it's like my number 9 of this month's watch. So I definitely recommend it for people who are especially fans of Police Academy. It's got a feature commentary by Neil Israel, the director of Police Academy and director of this movie. And he goes into a lot of very specific stuff. So I listened to some of it. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but it was very interesting to hear his commentary track. So thank you, Kino Lorber, for actually putting out a commentary track like this for a movie that I mean I wouldn't have imagined would have had a commentary track. So there you go. Next is a movie I was so excited to see, and I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it was good. I liked it a lot. I also did another review of it. It just wasn't up there as far as like my favorites of this month once again, and that is Adrift. I absolutely adore Shailene Woodley. I think she's just so cute. And she's so just lovable and everything. I mean, just her when she smiles, like my face lights up every time I see it. And I adored her in this movie. But unfortunately, this movie I felt kinda um I don't know. I think because they took liberties in making it more like a movie, it I think if they kept it actually straight toward what actually happened, it might have been an interesting story. But there was some liberties in it, and I just at the end of the movie I was like, okay, and it very much confused me at times. And I thought, and then I read some stuff about it and everything, and I love the movie. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really well done. They acted very well, directed exceptionally. It's just wasn't my favorite, and you'll see why. Because once again, I mean, this is pretty good. this is still number 8 in my list. So there you go. Number 8. Number 7. Woo! This movie is the first time I've seen this movie. It's a horror film I had not watched, but I was excited about it, and it is The Gate. This is the Vestron. I think it's Vestron. It's Vestron, right? Yeah. Lionsgate and Vestron. And it's got a bunch of stuff too. Doesn't it have commentary? It's got commentary by director Tiber Tactics, writer Michael Nankin, and special effects designer and supervisor Randall William Cook. There's also like interviews with them. I actually saw an interview with Tybor and basically it was an interview with both Tybor, the director, and William Randall Cook. Randall William Cook. Sorry. I guess that was dyslexic version. But I really enjoyed this movie. Thought it was really good, really fun, very if I were a kid, this would have terrified me. The stop motion animation in the movie is amazing. I found out like K and B effects, like Greg Nicotero and that group of people did a phenomenal job in the movie, and it was pretty damn good. Like I said, if I had watched it when I was young, it would have terrified me. As an adult, nothing really. It's really hard to terrify me as an adult, especially since I watch these movies all the time. I'm kind of desensitized to it a little bit. But this movie was still really, really good, and shocked me how good it was. Definitely check it out. It's a movie you could probably watch with your kids. It's not. I mean, even though it's scary, it's very entertaining and is still relevant today. So that's number 7. Number 6, The Mist, another movie I had not seen. See these really cool slipcases, and you got the original in there. So these ones were from Walmart. That other one was from Walmart too. Um, I I enjoyed this a lot. Everybody kept, when I posted about it, everybody kept telling me the ending, was gonna be pretty harsh and whatnot. And the ending was, it was a effed up ending. I'm not gonna lie, but I really, really enjoyed it, and eh, it made me wonder what it would be like if you were trapped in a place and you couldn't go. Now you have all the necessities to live. You have food for a while. Eventually you're gonna have to get more. You have a bathroom, you know what I mean? Like, you have people there. I mean, so you're not all alone. I mean, but like, what are you gonna do? Like, you can't stay there forever. You have to figure out a way to get out. And this movie was really good. Stephen King does say like the ending was better than his original ending, for his book. So take that for whatever you want to take it. All right. Number 5. Oof. Number 5. What is it? What is number 5? Picnic at a Hanging Rock. This is from a Criterion release of it, and I've been dying to watch this movie for a while. And it takes place in like the Victorian times, Victorian era. I think like the end of the Victoria era, if I'm correct. And it basically is an Australia movie about these girls who go, this girl and their school mistress, the lady, headmistress, well, not headmistress, but mistress lady who was helping them, school teacher was there. They were basically on, having their own picnic, and all like the good girls get to go and the bad girls stay, and the headmaster's lady is just really nasty to this one girl and won't let her go, and she's making her do all these like things she doesn't want to do, and she doesn't want to be there. She just wants to be with her friend, and her friend is out there, Miranda, and they they go out, and well, 4 girls originally. One of the girls says, "I'm not going to do this," and leaves. And then the 3 other girls go, and then the school teacher goes to look for them, and all 4 of those people disappear, and they can't find them. whatsoever. There's dogs looking, there's whatever. And so one day these two guys are going out still looking and everything, and one of them wants to find Miranda because I guess Miranda's the hottest of them all. And I think it was Miranda or Sarah. No, Miranda. Sarah's the girl who kind of keeps getting into trouble. And so she goes off. They try to find her, and they find this other girl. I think her name is Irma, and they find her, but they don't find the others. And like it gets to be this mystery of what's going on, what's happening. Don't want to spoil the ending, but it gets really, really, really brutal at times. And I really loved the movie. I thought it was really well done, well directed. By the guy, goodness, can't even think of his name right. Peter Weir, who did like Witness and uh I think he did the movie Paul and I did Gallipoli. But he's a very big Australian director and he's wonderful and I absolutely love this movie and think it is, if you haven't seen it, please go watch it, especially if you're from Australia, like Adelaide area. You might actually recognize some spots. I was talking to a friend from Australia. She had never even heard of the film and whatnot. And it's got some great stuff there. It's got an extended interview with Weir. It's got a bunch of different stuff. Now it's got I think two discs, if I'm correct. No, just one. So just one disc, one disc. Okay. One disc, a couple interviews and things like that. But really and it's got a like a remembrance thing. It's uh what is it called? Program in the making of the film. Um It's also got a award-winning black comedy by Weir that's like 53 minutes. So it's technically by standards, it's a feature, but nowadays standards, but I go by old time standards. It's a short. It's a long short. But I want to eventually watch that and check that out because it sounded really interesting. It's called Homesdale. And yeah, there you go. So Picnic and Hanging Rug is number 5. We're down to our bottom 4, and is another Criterion film coming up, and that is All About Eve. All About Eve, I thought was remarkable. It was a black comedy. It was interesting. Eve herself was scary, at times. I as a director and everything, I've never directed plays really. So I can't say what it would be like to do that, especially back then. But it did talk a lot about how women feel when they get older, about acting and everything, and how like they get less and less parts. And so Eve is the girl who kind of comes in, and Margot Channing, played by Betty Davis. Betty Davis plays this remarkable character who's aging, and she's sort of ready to like she's getting ready to like just leave doing that and just become like a homemaker or something, or whatever. But in the meantime, there's this lady Eve who comes in and is like, infatuated with her. She wants to learn from her and she wants to be her assistant. She's helping, she loves her, she's, affectionate and everything. And when she gets brought in, all of a sudden, like, she starts to basically try to mimic what Margot was doing so much that she would become the next Margot. And Margot is not having any of that. And it gets really weird at times, and it's really funny and very witty. Quick, stuff like, if people make fun of the Gilmore Girls for being like really quick, stuff or whatever, that's what this kind of stuff was back then. So like Gilmore Girls is like a big throwback to like movies like All About Eve, where they're just really quick-witted and funny and charming, and I really enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, please do. It is very funny, very dramatic at times. I mean, dark, kind of disturbing a little bit because you're kind of going into the mind of a woman who just wants to just become the next star, so she'll do anything she can. And so it's interesting. I liked it. It was number four. Number three, oof, another black and white movie. Actually, is the rest black and white? No, next two are black and white. Um, this movie was okay. I'll bring it up. It's The Lost Weekend, and I have it on Masters of Cinema, but unfortunately, I don't have a multi-region 4K player. And so multi-region 4K players, even though all 4Ks play, whether whatever region or not, they play on a 4K player. Blu-ray Blu-rays and DVDs that are region B locked or region C locked or whatever, you cannot play them on a 4K player. I found that out. I didn't know until I basically tried to put it in. It wouldn't work. So, I ended up getting this on Kino instead, and I've been wanting to watch it. So I actually ended up watching it last night for the first time. And I will tell you that I was blown away by this movie. I thought this movie was really, really good, dark, depressing, scary. And I I'm just glad I'm not suffering any of these things that this guy is doing right now because or doing was doing. Um, I will say I wasn't a fan of the ending. Just there was only one little problem with the ending, and it just felt like it was tied up too quickly and everything. And I didn't buy it necessarily, but I love Billy Wilder. He apparently wrote it for to show to Raymond Chandler, who he had uh Raymond Chandler, but worked on Double Indemnity, which I plan on reviewing next month, so or this month, coming up, or whatever the month that we're in right now. I'm planning on watching that then. But uh, they worked on Double Indemnity together, and it drove apparently Raymond Chandler to drink again. And he wrote this movie, or co-wrote and directed this movie to show Raymond what he was like, I guess. But I feel like that's a little, I don't know. I don't like that because, uh, and alcoholics, uh, in like while they're drinking, who haven't like recovered or anything, they are very much like not going to, they're not going to stop until they want to stop, right? And I don't see that was the problem. I just didn't buy Raymond, or was it Ray Milland stopping his character. What was his character's name? Uh it doesn't say. Jane Wyman is in it and she's wonderful. Um it won Oscars for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, and Best Screenplay, and was nominated for Best Cinematography, Best Editing, and Best Score. The score, oh my God. They apparently this was the first time they ever used a theremin, which is the one that goes ooh, ooh, and that's basically the theme from like Bride of one of the, like, not Bride of the Monster necessarily maybe, but like Plan 9 and all those things. And the theremin was used back then for B movies, when they were kind of making these schlocky stuff. So when you hear it in this movie, it's really weird because it's like all the nightmare stuff, and it was done really, really well, and I loved it, and I had a blast. And the music composer did like the King of Kings, I believe, like Ben-Hur, he's gone on to do some amazing music work, and I absolutely adore this movie. This movie is number three of mine. It had some great scenes, great lovable characters. I was a little confused because originally I thought that they were gonna go on their long. I thought he was gonna go on the long trip with them, and we're gonna see him in another place, but he never leaves. He stays in town, and that's not spoiler. That's literally in the first 20 minutes of the movie or whatever. He's decided to stay, and he goes on a binge, and you sort of see. what alcoholics are like when they're drunk and stuff. And maybe some people would not like to watch this because it'll bring back nasty memories for them or whatever. But like I thought it was remarkable and powerful and very scary. And I also read that apparently AB like the liquor companies were trying to stop them from making this movie because it was gonna bring down sales, to their stuff they thought. I don't know if it would have not or it would or would not have, but it was interesting. Watch my full review of it on Horror Film Lovers not horror ooh, on Blu-ray Hunter reviews. Sorry, I'm getting my content mixed up. Check that out and I'll give a full review of it. Not full, it'll be a little mini review. But kind of a little bit bigger than this one. So thank you. That's number 3. Number 2. I thought this was number 1 for a while. This was number 1 until one of them knocked them out of number 1. This is now number 2. It is Touch of Evil. And you're like, Touch of Evil is number 2? Really? Not number 1? What's number 1? You'll find out in a little bit. But yeah, Touch of Evil is amazing. It's freaking crazy. It's weird. It's got this like I don't know. I'm gonna watch because there's 3 versions of this. There's the reconstructed version, the theatrical version, and the preview version. My friend and I watched the theatrical version, and we were like, "This is Touch of Evil? This is not what we were expecting at all." You know. But I want to check out the reconstructed version and the preview version and do a review of that. So by the end of the month, I should be doing a review of Touch of Evil with all talking about all 3 versions and stuff, and say which one I liked and what my thoughts were on it as a whole. I really, really enjoyed this movie. Orson Welles did not look like Orson Welles. He did a fantastic job, kind of making himself look even bigger than he normally does, and he was just this. He looked like Charles Lawton, is what my friend thought. Like my friend was like, "Oh, there's Charles Lawton." I said, "No, that's Orson Welles." And he looked at me and was like, "Really?" I was like Charles Lawton. Um, Charlton Heston and Janet Leigh from Psycho. I mean, just so many great people in this movie. It was wonderful. It was wonderfully acted, wonderfully directed, wonderfully written. Just very, very, very good movie. So, number 2, wow. I mean, what can be number 1? What what is the number 1 movie of the month? And I just saw this yesterday and it got knocked everything out because I had such a fun time with it. It is The Guns of the Navarone, or The Guns of Navarone. Sorry, it's the gun. I always say Guns of the Navarone, or the Guns of the Navarone, not Guns of Navarone. Anyway, point is, I thought this was incredible. Wow! If you have not seen this movie, go. If you have if you not see this movie, they do have Nazis in this movie. If you've not seen this movie, go see it for real. Like this movie is so freaking amazing. One of the best movies I've seen in forever. I absolutely adore this movie. I'm not really into war movies that much, but I'm getting into them. I don't know what happened, but like I guess Paul's been showing me a few war movies and other people have been showing me. I've been seeing them all over, and I'm just like, I'm falling in love, and I'm like, you know what? I need to watch these, and I need to watch westerns next. I definitely want to say like Rio Bravo and Stagecoach and a few of those things. But this movie is so good. If you haven't seen it, it's basically about a bunch of guys, and then later on some women who go on this mission to basically um, stop the Nazis, or whatever. And while they're doing it, one of the guys is a really good mountain climber, and he can help everybody climb up the mountains. There's this amazing ship scene. I mean, we're going to be doing this for Film Freaks. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I will tell you guys when you see our review on Film Freaks, You will see me gushing. I just absolutely love this movie. I had such a fun time. I want to watch it again and again and again, which I don't want to for a lot of war movies. I mean, one's enough. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've seen it, I'm done. This movie is so much fun. There's so much stuff going on and characters and things that I'm like, whoa, I didn't expect to see that going. So if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. You will absolutely love it. If you don't love it, I'm sorry, no money back, but I can guarantee you that you will have some kind of opinion on this. I've never heard anybody say a bad thing about Guns N' Neverone. But check it out. There are commentaries by director J. Lee Thompson and film historian Stephen J. Rubin's commentary. So I wonder if there's two commentary tracks, one with the director and one with the film historian. Three documentaries: Forging the Guns of Neverone, and an ironic epic of heroism and memories of Neverone, eight behind-the-scenes featurettes, and interactive feature, The Resistance Dossier of Neverone. Now, I saw that in November, this is coming out again on 4K. I don't know if it's going to be just a steelbook or something, but Sony is bringing this back. Oh, so we'll see. But I got this for a pretty good price on eBay, and it was well worth it. I mean, Sony did a banging job on it. So thank you, Sony, for putting this out. This was incredible, and I would love to see more people watching that. So that's it. That's it for my movies. We got Guns of Navarone. We got Touch of Evil, number 2. Number 3 is The Lost Weekend. Number 4 is All About Eve, because it really was all about Eve. Picnic in Hang Rock is number 5. Number 6 is The Mist. Number 7 is The Gate. No, wait. Yeah, number 7 is The Gate. Number 8 is Adrift. Number 9, Moving Violations. And number 10 is Gotcha. So yeah, what a fantastic fantastic group of movies. I'm excited to see what is next on my film, for film stuff. So like I don't know what I have a feeling I know what I'm going to be reviewing, but I don't know. Will I? Will I be reviewing all that? We'll see. All right. Well, thank you guys for checking this out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Join me next month for a new ranking, and we'll see what I watch then. Until then, everybody, bye.